Kelton Talford has been around for a long time. He had opportunities to go elsewhere. He came back for this type of game. Here we go. Which one of these teams will face the High Point Panthers tomorrow? We're 40 minutes away or more from finding out. Marsh, Banks, Abey, Solomon, and Gant for Mike Morrell and the Bulldogs. Coming off a convincing victory over Charleston Southern last night. Quick turnaround, and Gant gets the scoring started for the Bulldogs.
Big finish from Greg Gant.
For Winthrop, sorry, John, the turnaround's even quicker. They didn't get out of here last night till close to 11. Their battle with Longwood included 74 free throw attempts in 40 minutes. Winthrop, led by as many as 24, hung on for the 9-point win. 3-ball from Banks would not fall. Rebound for Camarad and Winthrop. Kasen Harrison, 11 assists in the quarterfinal victory. Feeding the big man. Talford, doubled, tripled, turnover. Marsh, the steal and the push. App State transfer step back three was way short. Eagles ball.
Yeah, and both these teams, you can tell it's a frenetic pace to start this game, but that is how they like to operate. Fast pace. They don't mind shooting the ball early in the shot clock as long as there's an opportunity that presents itself.
Winthrop was the hotter of these two teams coming down the stretch. Eagles have won 4 straight, 9 of their last 10. Includes a win over Asheville last Saturday. Big ambition and a follow for Talford after Camarad came up empty.
Yeah, and that means everything. Ending
Tough
the
catch.
game.
Solomon missed it, tipped it back up and in.
Yeah, big time finish there, but yes, ending the season hot is what Winthrop was looking to do, and they are one of those teams that are dangerous because they're peaking at the right time.
Marsh knocks it out of bounds. Nearly 2 minutes gone here in the opening half.
Yeah, Camarad was trying to get a poster there. I thought there was a lot of contact there, but Talford cleaning up the glass.
Asheville almost played that second chance like they were expecting a whistle to come.
Yeah, that's why Talford was so wide open there.
And now the whistle does come, and it'll create free throws for the veteran from Great Falls, South Carolina, who needs 12 points today to tie Charles Brunson for second most points in Winthrop school history. He needs about 180 points to catch Xavier Cooks today, or Keon Johnson, I should say. Chasing Keon Johnson in the all-time scoring chart. He, with a crazy rebounding game, he could catch Xavier Cooks all-time in the rebounding chart. 22 away from Cooks on the all-time rebound list in Winthrop history. It's an illustrious history. 13 Big South championships. Trying to make it to their 19th championship game in school history here today.
The question is, can they finesse another year? You can do that. Maybe we can talk a little bit.
Marsh, decent look. He's 0 for 2. Bodies tumbling. 2 Bulldogs down, and the foul is on Nick Johnson. Mike Morrell, 70 wins over the past 3 seasons, including this one. 2023 Big South champion. 42 years old, and just a really sharp young coach.
He's been doing a fantastic job just continually bringing in players that fit his style of play. Took him a couple of years to get himself going, but once he got that formula, it was tough to be able to deny UNC Asheville year in and year out.
Fletcher Abey still on the team from that championship a couple years ago. Abey rising fire, missed it. And the rebound to Harrison. Kasen Harrison bumping Solomon up the floor, kicks it. Bryce Baker was huge last night. This is Harrison coming up short. Rebound on the baseline. KJ Doucette out of bounds. There's Mark Prosser with a win last night, his 77th as coach of the Eagles. Tied Randy Peel for 4th all-time on the Winthrop all-time wins list.
Peel. Yeah, I remember playing against Coach Peel. He did a fantastic job when he was there, but
intense fellow.
Very intense. Small, but intense. And what I'll say about Coach Prosser is, I mean, because he hasn't came out with that championship like they're looking for, sometimes people take for granted how much success he has brought to this Winthrop program. All they are missing is that championship.
Well, you look at what Pat Kelsey, the former Eagles coach, did at Charleston and what he has done this year at Louisville. The Prosser tree, started by Mark's dad, Skip, continues to create incredible branches. Talford was wide left. Rebound for Solomon, his 3rd board already.
Yeah, Greg Gannon's done a good job of meeting Talford with a ton of physicality. He's got to be careful, though, because at some point, those refs are going to start tightening things up.
Bad pass intercepted by Baker. Into the hands of Doucette. Another offensive rebound for Talford, but it's poked away. It'll be Winthrop ball after the first media timeout. A lot of energy in the building. Somewhat slow start for both sides offensively. Winner gets High Point in the finals tomorrow.
This is a story about strength. It wakes up early. This is a story about strength. It wakes up early in the morning, stays up late, moves mountains, and travels the world. It makes adventure and hard work possible. Strength delivers food to tables, packages to doorsteps, products to stores, and kids to practice. It shows up everywhere you show up. Hercules tires are built for almost every driver and every vehicle. Find the right Hercules for your story and let our strength drive yours.
Hey, grab me one too.
There's a difference between being big and being strong, between trying something new and doing something great, finding answers and creating the future. At First Citizens, we understand that difference. We're resilient, relentless, and working together, there's nothing we can't achieve. For everyone who counts on us, there's always a difference. And that difference is who we are. First Citizens Bank.
This Big South broadcast is brought to you in part by Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. First Citizens Bank, forever first. CertaPro Painters, choose happy, choose CertaPro Painters. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. SoldOut.com, the official ticket resale marketplace of the Big South. And Food City, value every day.
The Big South thanks CertaPro Painters for their support. Choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters. 4 minutes, 4 seconds gone. Asheville with the early 4-2 lead. Winthrop ball out of the timeout. Winthrop, in their last 3 games, have made 41 threes at a 47% clip. But they're 0 for 2 to start today. Talford exploding to the basket, but he could not convert. Cameron Taylor the other way, finds Gant in transition, who flips it up high off the window for 2.
Yeah, the ball almost slipped out of Greg Gant's hands.
Is that an inadvertent slip off the window
yeah,
for 2?
I mean, that's a slippery roll right there.
Another Eagle drive, and this time a whistle will send KJ Doucette to the line. Let's check out this replay of the last sequence.
Yeah, you can see. Catches it, about loses it, looks at his hands, dries them off.
Was wondering if we're getting ready for some more Cameron Taylor thunder after what he did, the windmill slam yesterday. That was basically the knockout punch for Charleston Southern. Landed at number 3 on the SportsCenter Top 10.
You love to see it.
It was like watching a young John Williams.
Yep, love him, good kid. Talked to him a few times, and yeah, I would take him on my dunk contest all-time team.
Who are the top dunkers in Big South basketball since you've been following the league about 15, 20 years now?
Myself.
I like it, and I accept because I saw you, and it's true.
Yep. Thunder.
Corey Law. From High Point. What about John Brown from High Point?
Yeah, I guess so. He couldn't do nothing with me or Cam, but then I also have to add in Doc Battle.
Okay.
Who's a 360 between the legs guy.
Yeah. It's a double dribble. Asheville has the early lead here, John, but Jordan Marsh has not come close to controlling the pace of the game the way he really dominated with ball control against Charleston Southern yesterday.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that Winthrop is trying to play him as physical as they possibly can, really make his reads a little bit tougher, and they've been doing a good job so far against him on that.
Paul Jones left his feet, fortunate to find Johnson. Johnson takes it all the way, lost it. Now Marsh setting the tempo. Trying to carve out some space. He was fouled. And the 5'10" point guard from Charlotte will shoot 2.
Yeah, that's one thing he knows how to do extremely well, which you wouldn't think, him being 5'10", but he'll post up a bigger defender and Barkley him and get to his spot. Because of his quickness, you can't see the ball, so his back is shielding it, so then he can get to his spot and raise up over you because he is athletic.
More like Muggsy him than Barkley.
Right. Barkley is taking that same.
Jordan Marsh, 26 and 6, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists last night. It was the 4th time this season he's finished a game with at least 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Averaged 23 points a game in conference play. That led the league. After the game yesterday, he was talking in the press conference about how the bond this team has is the best of any team he's ever been a part of. And a lot of that is a result of everything that happened, the hurricane, the wake of the hurricane. You know, Mike Morrell saying no other team just got to sit in a hotel in Charlotte for 3 weeks, you know, before the season, trying to figure out what's next.
Yeah, absolutely.
They changed roommates every week. Like, it was team bonding at its crazy level.
I think when teams take those trips to, you know, Bahamas or Mexico during the preseason, those are helpful because they get the bond. Unfortunately, Asheville got the opportunity to bond because they didn't have school. The school was closed down and things were flooded and there was no access to things. So, yeah, like, I think it's any way you can get it.
It's a heck of a block by Baker on Davis. Ball will stay at this end of the floor, though. Well, every team over the course of the season, you're at this stage, you develop a narrative in your own head. And there's always some truth to it, and there's always some fantasy to it. We went through this, so we can do this.
Yeah. There's always an if then.
High Point's got it. Asheville's got it. Winthrop's got one, too. One of these 3 teams will be going to the dance. Eagles have started 1 for 9. They've been aggressive on the attack, but haven't been able to finish. And quick hands from Asheville create a steal, but it's a travel in transition. And the Bulldogs turn it over for the first time. In fact, that's the first turnover I beg your pardon. That's the third Asheville turnover.
Yeah, you could see he jumped up in the air before dribbling, and it's a good call. It's been a defensive stalemate between these two teams, and
allowed to go chase it into the backcourt. Isaiah Wilson. Attempted pass to Logan Duncombe, slapped away. 13 in the shot clock. No field goals in the last 4.5 minutes for Winthrop. They're 0 for their last 6. Wilson looking. Finds Baker. Rise and fire for 3.
And that was the offensive segment that Winthrop has been looking for to maybe get themselves going. They've been patient in their offense, which has been good, but great answer there from Josh Banks.
Big time three-point marksman, and now we're cooking. Baker, back-to-back buckets for the Eagles.
You see how quick that happened? This is how quick these teams can score.
To be honest, I didn't see it. It happened too quick.
Exactly.
Banks. Oh, yeah.
And now.
All right, these two teams have felt each other out, and now we're ready to go.
Now the rivalry has awakened. That's what I was waiting on.
Count it, and 1 for Isaiah Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson, not much bigger than Marsh, but I'm going to tell you right now, used his size, his athleticism, kept him on that hip, finished strong. I love it.
Didn't mention it, but Nick Johnson picked up his second early foul, so he's on the Winthrop bench. That's the first on Marsh. And Wilson, senior from the Steel City, 2 years at University of Richmond, 2 years here with Winthrop.
That's also what makes this Winthrop team so strong is you talk about retainment being everything, especially in a transfer portal heavy NCAA, but you know, Harrison, Johnson,
Duncombe and Gant were pushing each other back and forth. Jason Page called the foul on Duncombe right in front of Mark Prosser, who saw the whole thing as well.
Prosser knows something. Maybe there was some instigation going on beforehand.
Frankly, it could have been a double foul.
Yeah.
Or it could have been a no call. Abey rise and fire. Fletcher is 0 for 2. Wraparound pass. Talford swatted away. And a technical foul. Did they get Jordan Marsh?
That's 2.
That's his second foul. Hope the trash talk was worth it, Jordan.
That's huge.
That's massive.
Especially as their head of the snake has to go out of the game with 12 minutes to go.
I don't know what he said, but Jason Page, who's been in the middle of it, was right there. Signaled immediately. Baker missed another free throw. The Eagles are inexplicably 1 for 6 from the line so far.
That could be the difference right now in the lead. I mean, they would have it.
Different pressure in the semifinals of the
semifinals
Hercules
will do that
Tires
to
Big
you,
South
man.
Tournament. 1 for 2, making the tee. Marsh goes to the bench with the tee. 12:36 to go. Certainly the score will have a lot to say about when he comes back, if he comes back in this half.
Well, because of UNC Asheville not really going super deep in their bench, they usually go about 8 players deep. You might see Marsh out there.
I'd be surprised if we don't see him back out there at least late in the half. Kasen Harrison gets his first points of the day.
And what I will say, there's a reason why Kasen Harris jumped back into this game so quickly, because there isn't anybody that can guard him now. Marsh is one of those guys that does a good job of getting under him due to his size and strength, being small but quick and strong. Now there's really no one that can really stay in front of
Baker
Harrison.
picked up his first foul. Paul Jones, Isaiah Wilson, both back in. Baker's getting a breather. Anthony Franklin making Wilson go all the way to midcourt to check in.
Rules are rules, man.
It's one of those rules that is rarely, if ever, enforced. Asheville knocks down the three. It's Cameron Taylor. Just his 14th made three of the season.
Cameron Taylor has been playing with a ton of confidence as of late. And a lot of that because Coach Morrell does a great job of letting his freshmen go.
Foul goes against Gant. And we'll get a timeout. Free throws coming for Winthrop. Asheville by 3. That was number 2 on Gant.
Target made Up and Up for you, helping you save on storage solutions with bags in all shapes and sizes. So everything has a home. Everyday favorites at unbeatable prices. We made Up and Up for you, only at Target.
Even when U.S. Women's National Team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards Visa Card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
Welcome to our world of extraordinary hydration science.
Meet Liquid IV, sugar-free hydration, scientifically formulated with electrolytes, vitamins, and 0 artificial sweeteners. Liquid IV, sugar-free.
Once upon a time, Goldilocks took out the Ram 2500 Rebel. Next, he tried the Ram Charger. Then finally, the Ram RHO. And they were all just right.
Right now during Ram Truck Month, get $6,500 total cash allowance on the purchase of select 2025 Ram 1500 trucks. See your local Ram dealer today.
Well, it was a relatively slow start offensively until Bryce Baker and Josh Banks found the range.
Yeah, they had a back and forth going between the two of them where they were just running off threes, and you can see how quick either one of these teams can get themselves going into an offensive rhythm just by seeing it go in one time. It's big time.
Mark Prosser, first thing he said in the post-game press conference last night, it's a long day when you have the 8:30 game. It's a longer day when there are 74 free throw attempts like there were in the Eagles-Lancers game. Tell me about this turnaround, John, from leaving the venue at 11 p.m. last night, probably closer to midnight, quite frankly, and then coming back to play at 2:30 for a spot in the final.
I talked to Coach Monty Saunders about that a little bit, as far as he was saying his guys were in great spirits. It's just like AAU all over again, where you're getting up early, playing in those early games, and, you know, at this point they got to wait until 2-something to play, so they felt good. They honestly liked the idea of having, you know, picking up right where you left off, so you don't have to, you know, juggle around and find that rhythm that you had before, and so I think they're in good spirits.
Certainly neither side needed to do a full detailed scout. These two teams played last Saturday at the Winthrop Coliseum, a 103-90 Winthrop win. Game in which both teams made 12 threes, but the Eagles were far more efficient, 12 for 22. Bulldogs were 12 for 31. And this ball is going to stay with the Eagles.
Yeah, and we talk about the imperativeness of possessions here. This is going to be huge.
A lot of meetings through the years. They've met 12 times in the tournament. This is the 12th time. Although it's the first meeting in the tournament since the 2016 Big South title game, which Asheville won behind Dwayne Sutton and Kevin Vanatta, Sam Hughes, Dylan Smith.
Oh my goodness, those were good teams.
Yes, they were. Corner three. KJ Doucette, book it.
The Doucette, such a skilled, big-body guard that can take you inside and out. He's huge for this Winthrop team.
First lead of the game for the boys from Rock Hill. It's a blocking foul on Doucette.
Yeah, Doucette was trying to bait a foul from Toyaz Solomon. You could see it from the start that it was something was gonna get called from that. I didn't know if it was gonna be Toyaz Solomon or KJ Doucette, but.
Which is a tougher job, John? Being a ref and making these really close calls, or being a coach and digesting all the calls that get made for you and against you over the course of the game?
Oh, I don't want to have to even make that choice. Both of them are tough, man. I don't even want to be put in that predicament. That's why we do what we do, right?
Yeah. Broadcasting is the easier job, for sure. Harrison to the wide open Jones. Got it.
Yeah, you were seeing Winthrop running them off, and we talked about the importance of Jordan Marsh and what he brings to the table for this UNC Asheville team. They haven't been able to run their stuff efficiently.
Banks over the backboard and out of bounds. It's funny, you talk about what Winthrop's done. The first 5 minutes were all drive.
Right.
The last 4 minutes, drive and kick.
So you can see that there's a formula to this. You know, once the defense starts to adjust to the drive,
right,
your penetrating kicks are there, and they practice those shots. It's going to be high percentage.
Foul's going on Banks. His first. Winthrop has trailed by as many as 5, currently on a 7-0 run over the last 75 seconds. And now Paul Jones III, the freshman from Suffolk, Virginia, back to the line. They weren't all that sharp from the line last night against Longwood. Finished 17 of 32, 53%. They're 3 of 10 today.
If we look at the stats from last night, I mean, Longwood won a lot of those major statistical points that you look for in order to win games, whether it's offensive rebounding, whether it's, you know, taking care of the ball. But the difference was the offensive efficiency for Winthrop. When they did get shots, when they did get field goals, they made more of them.
Marsh only sat about 2 minutes because it was all Winthrop when he was out.
Yeah, you see the importance there.
Toyaz Solomon with his second bucket. That's a guy that they need to get going.
Yeah, absolutely. That time, Toyaz Solomon was way more decisive in his drive and what he was going to do the last few times. He's overthought his moves.
Harrison, little crossover, kick to the corner. Camarad fakes the 3, on the drive, off the window.
Yeah. Camarad contorting his body in the air to finish over Cam Taylor.
63 games over multiple seasons with the Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys before coming to Winthrop. Marsh creating contact. The foul's on Jones.
And look at this nifty finish here from Camarad there. He was looking to dunk another one, but real recognizes real, Evan. And he saw Cam Taylor out there, knows he gets his head to the rim on a regular basis there, so.
Travel.
Picked up that pivot.
Sixth Asheville turnover. Winthrop with just 2 turnovers so far, but missed free throws count like turnovers. 3 of 11 from the line.
Yeah, give the other team, the opposing team, rest as well as the ball back.
Kasen Harrison, a hop, skip, and a jump. On the glass, it's Talford. How many times have we seen him do that?
So many. Kelton Talford has been such a center point for Winthrop as far as their interior success.
Toyaz Solomon just picked up his second foul, John.
Yeah, and this is where depth could be an issue for UNC Asheville. We talk about them, usually going about 3 players into their bench. But after that, it's tough.
Talford, first team All-Big South for the 3rd consecutive season. Consistent double-figure score. Grabbed his 900th career rebound in the regular season finale last Saturday against these Bulldogs. 2 games this year against Asheville. Talford with 39 points, 13 boards. 2 teams split. Asheville won at home by 9 on January 18th. Forced 17 Winthrop turnovers that day. Aby, can he get going? Not yet. Harrison creates contact. No whistle, but he gets the call, gets the bucket, and Mike Morrell wants to talk.
Yeah, that could have easily been an and one.
Looked like it
Kasen
should have
Harrison is so big, so strong. He knows how to manipulate fouls, knows how to get to that free throw line right there.
Asheville sensing this get away a little bit. 13-2 is the Winthrop run over the last 3+ minutes.
And that's a pretty finish right there. You almost thought he was about to sham got it. It was nice, beautiful. Yeah, Coach Mike Morrell is telling his guys to settle down, settle down.
Hercules Tires, the official tire of the Big South Conference, and for more than 65 years has been providing tires with unbeatable quality and an unmatched value. Whatever the vehicle and whatever the terrain, Hercules Tires invites you to ride on our strength. For a retailer near you, visit HerculesTires.com. Question for you, John.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot can happen. From the High Point perspective, they're waiting for the winner of these 2 teams. They had 2 really tight, high-scoring games with Asheville. They beat Winthrop by double figures twice. Do you think Winthrop is a better matchup for High Point compared to Asheville, or is it kind of 50-50 from their perspective, 2 tough foes no matter what?
I think it's 2 tough foes no matter what. One reason is I think that it's extremely difficult to beat a team 3 times. That's always lingering in the back of your mind. And then when you think about Asheville, there's a team that you played tight with both times, and you just don't know how that game's going to go depending on how Asheville decides to come out there and play.
Asheville's not going to get a chance to play tomorrow if they don't turn things around here. Duncombe with his first bucket in transition after the Asheville giveaway, and Winthrop currently on a 15-2 run. Under 8 to play in the half. Eagles by 10.
Thanks for getting these sub bowls.
Of course, no problem, big bro. Let's eat.
Danny DeVito? What did you do with our uncle?
Well, that doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. What matters most are these sub bowls.
Wait, has Danny DeVito been my brother my whole life?
I guess so. Don't tell Mom. Your favorite sub, hot or cold in a bowl. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
The best recipes start with the freshest ingredients. And when looking for the highest quality produce to feed your family, where it comes from matters. That's why we go straight to the source, so you don't have to.
Mom! Hey, Mom! Let's get some fresh berries, too.
Get hand-picked produce from farm to food city.
I'm really proud that we've created a community here that comes together and makes us feel like we're special each and every day. St. Patrick's Day here is wild. We lift a pint, we play a tune, we dance a jig, we come together. We want everyone to feel like this is a place they can come in relax, and be welcome.
Mulligan's Irish Pub, downtown Johnson City. Meet friends and make new friends. mulligansirish.com.
Down here is where hard work matters, where hype is measured by heart and hustle, and where excellence is earned every day. Because down here, we play for each other, we play for family, we play for our communities, and we play to be the very best. This is the Big South. This is where winners are made.
Well, Mike Morrell has watched his Bulldogs fall behind by 10 here in this first half. Asheville's gotten punched in the mouth. Let's see how they respond.
Yeah, one thing that stands out is Asheville. It's 7 turnovers already. And you see Winthrop scoring 10 points off of those turnovers.
Banks at the line shooting 1-1 after the foul on Doucette. 2 fouls on Doucette, 2 fouls on Johnson for Winthrop. Solomon and Marsh also with 2 fouls apiece for Asheville. Here comes the freshman Julian Clark, who has played very sparingly. Played 1 minute last night, played 1 minute in each game of the regular season against Winthrop.
And the thing is, I've seen the kid. Julian Clark can really play, but this helps you to understand how hard it is for freshmen to get out there on the floor and get in where you fit in.
Harrison takes it right at Clark and then turns it over. Bodies tumbling as Aby brings it. Banks contemplating. Camarad takes him on the switch, and it's a blocking foul on Tommy. Winthrop's pinball wizard picks up his first foul.
Yeah, Camarad presents such a tough issue for most teams because he can play the 3 and the 4. He can play outside in, and so he becomes a matchup issue because of that athleticism that we've seen a little spark of so far.
1-1 here for Josh Banks. Missed it, but tapped back out by Gant, controlled by Aby. You see that all too often. Teams falling asleep on the front end of the 1-1 on the glass, and Banks makes Winthrop pay for their mistake.
Yeah, that's an opportunity. That's a possession that Winthrop was supposed to have. Just kind of fell asleep in the rebounding department. You don't want any momentum going Asheville's way if you're Winthrop.
Not this time for Baker. His first miss beyond the arc. Gant over to Aby. Winthrop very aware of Fletcher's shooting abilities, especially if he gets hot.
Yeah, you can see how they're defending him, taking
Deep
away that
three
space.
For Banks. Rebounded by Winthrop's Jones. Harrison leaves it. Johnson for 3.
Yeah, and that's what Johnson brings to the table. Great size, great shooting ability, can handle the ball. So tough. And that's the thing about this Winthrop team. There's so many players on this team that have that capability.
Banks turned around, needs help. Again, Aby, no breathing room when he gets the touch. Oh, nice backdoor pass and a pretty move. Everything but the bucket. Kaler could not finish.
Yeah, close but no cigar. That's one of those ones you wish you could get back if you're Cam Taylor.
Harrison.
And you got to see how comfortable Harrison is in that interior area right now.
Great hustle there by Winthrop, keeping the possession alive. Jones and Mark Prosser takes a timeout, stops the clock with 5:24 to play. 9-point lead. Eagles 5 for 9 beyond the arc.
Yeah, Winthrop has been on fire. That has been a differentiator in today's game. You see Doucette getting one. You see Jones getting one. I mean, they've been able to get themselves off a penetrating pitch like you talked about. They started out penetrating the lane, and then once they got UNC Asheville to implode, they started hitting the open players on the perimeter for high percentage shots.
This Winthrop team, double-digit threes 10 times, including each of the past 3 games. They were 13 for 31 last night from deep. This Winthrop ball club had a tough stretch in January, losing 4 out of 6, but entering today, won 9 of the last 10 since that loss to High Point on January the 25th.
Yeah, this is a team that we talk about it all the time with championship caliber teams. Is peaking at the right time, and right now you can definitely tell how comfortable Winthrop looks together. As soon as I say that,
right on cue.
Right on cue, but they've been shooting the ball at a high clip already at 50%, 55.
Yep. Today's the 25th semifinal appearance for Winthrop. They're 18-6 all time in Big South semis, so they've won 3/4 of their chances in the semis. This would be their 19th trip to the finals if they can get the win. 5 minutes to go in the half. And it is worth noting how the lead of the half has been so important for both these teams. Off the turnover, it's Talford creating more free throw opportunities here for the Eagles. John, I'm not saying folks should turn off the game at halftime. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
With that said, Asheville this year when they're up at the half, 16-0. Winthrop this year when they're up at the half, 19-1. So these next 5 minutes carry some consequence.
It'll tell us something, right? If we're stat gurus here. But, you know, like I said, that's normal regular season talk. Like, let's talk about, okay, it's tournament time. How do these teams act, which is not normal? It's not the same that they're accustomed to. The pressure heightens.
Winthrop trying to claw their way back to 50% at the line. Now 7 for 15 after those 2 makes for Kelton Talford. 6 points, 4 boards for Talford. Now he's defending Toyaz Solomon, who gives it up. And that's a 3rd foul on Toyaz.
I'll tell you right now, Isaiah Wilson has been a fantastic addition as far as implementing himself in the offense and defense, coming off the bench for Winthrop. He's gotten 2 defensive stops there for Winthrop. He got the steal on Marsh, or created the steal, where Talford was able to get to the free throw line. And then you see here another turnover created by him.
To the basket, Talford, no. And we got a foul on Winthrop's Camerad in the rebound action, I think. Yep, 15 black. Number 2 on Tommy.
And when you have a Toyaz Solomon in foul trouble, and then you also have a Jordan Marsh, you're losing a heavy percentage of your scoring.
Winthrop's not immune from the foul situation, too. That's 3 Eagle starters with 2 fouls. Johnson, Doucette, and Camerad.
Yeah, the difference is that Winthrop doesn't mind dancing further and further in their bench, while Asheville, traditionally speaking this season, have only gone about 8 players. And then if they go 9, that 9th man doesn't really dabble in the double figures, and the 8th man usually doesn't dabble in the double figures of minutes.
Really good point.
You might get in the game, but what is the usage and productivity like once you get in that game?
Gant makes them both. Bulldogs 6 of 7 from the line. Striking contrast to Winthrop struggles. 9-point game again. Harrison almost lost his balance, and they're going to call a foul on Clark.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, that's no offense to Clark. I think he's a good player. Just not as many reps as, you'd like to put him out there because he could be a heavily utilized player.
I mean, in all of Big South play, Julian Clark scored 4 points.
Yeah.
So he has not felt a moment like this.
Yeah, and the only reason I say that because I've seen the kid play when his confidence is high. Like he's in here due to necessity at this point because of all the foul trouble, but he's a kid that definitely, once you give him that confidence, is capable of doing some major things.
Well, they got to 50% at 8 for 16, and now back under 50%, 8 for 17.
Yeah, and they got Clark out of there because that's a matchup for Kasen Harrison where he sees blood in the water 9 times out of 10.
Asheville's been waiting for that from Fletcher Avery.
Yeah, Fletcher Avery got himself going last night's game against Charleston Southern. He started to catch fire, and so UNC Asheville's going to need that from him, along with Josh Banks, to continue that momentum from the perimeter.
44% from 3 this year. Loose ball knocked away. Last touch by Asheville's Greg Gant Jr. We'll get a timeout with 3:35 to play in the half. Eagles by 7.
Let's go, let's go. Time to start the show. Let's go, let's go. It all starts right now.
Even when U.S. Women's National Team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards Visa Card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
For the big game, Hidden Valley Ranch and Pizza Hut are partnering to celebrate this new Easy Squeeze bottle. It's so precise and easy to use that I can autograph this delicious Pizza Hut pizza with it. Wait a minute. Did I just turn this pizza into a collectible? Visit HBRSignaturePizza.com for your chance to score the one-of-a-kind Hidden Valley Ranch Signature Pizza signed by me, Eli Manning. Enter before the big game kicks off for your chance to win.
My fellow Americans.
Right now, you can get Disney Plus and Hulu for just $2.99 a month. A price so low, you'll want to scream. Your favorites from Disney Plus and Hulu together on Disney Plus for just $2.99 a month.
Definitely a very smart move.
Get Disney Plus and Hulu for just $2.99 a month for 4 months.
Oh, wow, we can spot your dehydration from a mile away. Welcome to our world of extraordinary hydration science.
We've been busy advancing the science of hydration.
We've selected the ingredient of allulose, a naturally derived sweetener that doesn't spike your blood sugar like glucose. If creating such an amazing sugar-free formula was easy, everyone would do it.
But they don't.
Because they can't.
Liquid IV, sugar-free hydration. 0 sugar, 0 artificial sweeteners.
We've still got 3:35 to play in the first half, and on the left side of your screen, you can understand the concern for UNC Asheville. Toyaz Solomon with 3 other guys in the starting lineup with 2. John Williams, you've been a guy in an Asheville jersey, as a matter of fact, in Big South semifinals several times. How do you have to shift your mindset or aggressiveness dealing with the foul trouble?
Yeah, just making sure that you are winning each possession at a time on the defensive end, especially being where you're supposed to be early.
Nick Johnson from the corner.
What a big-time 3 from Johnson. And you see him, he's never wavered out there. He always just does his role, his job. A lot of that's to show his ability to spread the floor from 3 as well as attack it on the bounce.
Going back to the regular season, Eagles literally 47 of their last 97 from 3. Julian Clark, the freshman, unable to answer. Tap back out, controlled by Clark. Fresh 20 for the Bulldogs.
And Coach Prosser is upset about giving Asheville another possession here.
Banks comes up short. Third chance this trip. And free throws coming for Cam Taylor. Talford picks up his first.
And Winthrop has done a really good job of making it tough for Asheville to score in the interior, really packing it in. And the reason they're packing it in is because aside from Josh Banks, Asheville has not shown their ability to really spread the floor from three, aside from, you know, a Cam Taylor three, who's not known for his three-point prowess, as well as Fletcher Abey, who they know is, but they're going to let a couple of them fall before they make any adjustments.
If it feels to you at home like this game has lacked rhythm, you're not alone. It's kind of what happens when you get 20 fouls called in the first 17 and a half minutes. When there's more than a whistle per minute, it's tough to develop that flow.
Absolutely. The whistle has been heavy in this first half, where both teams have definitely suffered from it. Asheville more due to their lack of depth on the bench, but Winthrop's going to take it however they can receive it.
Shovel it inside. Talford, great position. Gets it back. Throws it up, no good. Battle for the rebound. Telford stronger. And it's a pushing foul, I think, on Clark. Another calling it on Taylor. Just the first on Cam Taylor.
Man, you could see how hard. That's why Talford is first team Big South, because of his ability. Even if he misses it, you know, he's getting it back. He always puts himself in positions to get himself a double-double because of how hard he works on the boards and how much he attacks the rim.
Today, the 150th game for Kelton Talford as a Winthrop Eagle. He's the league's all-time leader in field goal percentage. For his career, he's shooting just a hair under 65%.
I'll say this, he's been big for this program. You've got some elder statesmen on this team that have been around for a long time. It's been great that Coach Prosser has been able to keep them there. The Talfords, the Harrisons, the Johnsons.
Asheville needs it, but Taylor can't connect. Dangerous pass under your own bucket, but it works out. Now the Eagles off and running. Johnson had it slapped away. Still 24 in the shot clock for the Winthrop offense.
Yeah, both teams know that a point could make the difference between being in the danger zone as well as being in a situation where you could start to get back into this game. And so they're both hustling, fighting to get themselves more possessions or to make it tough for the opponent.
Another one for Nick Johnson, right down the chute.
Yeah, Clark did a good job of closing out, trying to blot out the sun, but with Johnson, the way he's shooting the ball right now, you have to meet him on the catch. There's no helping in the gaps off of him anymore. You got to meet him and be right in his breadbasket on the catch.
Unbelievable. 48 for their last 98 from three. 7 of 11 and a half from deep today. Kick out, Clark missed again. Eagles with their largest lead and looking for more. Johnson, why not?
Feed that hot hand. Nick Johnson taking over this half. Shooting that three at a high percentage, high clip, I love it.
Eagles 8 for 12. Half of those makes from Nick Johnson. Largest lead is 16. Bulldogs on the ropes. Clark looking inside, pressure defense, pokes it away. The entire city of Rock Hill, it felt like, from the Winthrop coaching staff, compelling Harrison to slow down and look for the final shot of the half.
And you see Coach Prosser telling his guys to slow down for one final basket, no matter what. As long as you end with the ball in your hands, momentum's in your favor going into the half.
Camarad Unable to connect on the exclamation point, but it was still an excellent first 20 for the Winthrop Eagles. The 3 seed from Rock Hill. Swatting Talford out of bounds, said something to him. Obviously, since then, it is all Winthrop. 35-16 since the tee.
Yeah, that's a great lesson for, Marsh, too. Just understanding, like, controlling your emotion is everything. It can be the difference of a game, of a half.
High Point awaits the winner. Eagles extend the lead. KJ Doucette.
You could see Marsh understanding that he can't get that other foul. So kind of let KJ Doucette just do what he does.
Oh my, Marsh, everything but the bucket. How did that not go in? Doucette off the mark from the corner.
Doucette going for the dagger and twist there.
Now Winthrop was up big at the half yesterday and then kind of let Longwood back into the game. A second half that lasted forever.
Right. That's one thing that you have to consider if you're UNC Asheville, that in that previous game against Longwood, Winthrop kind of took their foot off the gas and had me sweating a little bit because I had just done a whole, I know you did too. All our notes were getting ready for Winthrop, and then you got a
Well, 2 possessions in the second half, 2 drives to the basket for Marsh. He just got Telford his second foul, but he missed the layup. Now he's missed a free throw. Finds the range there. Only 2 points in the first half, though, for Marsh. No rebounds, 1 assist. Bulldogs are going to need a lot more than that from him.
Well, they're going to have collective balance. It's not going to be on one person.
Well, Solomon as well. He's only got 4 points.
Yeah.
Scored 21 yesterday.
And that's when Asheville's at their best, when they're impacting the game from several areas of the floor, whether it's Toyaz Solomon on the inside, whether it's Fletcher Abe from the perimeter.
Marsh
Banks from the perimeter.
Abe fakes it, takes it, short. Rebound, Camarade, ahead. It's Harrison for 2.
That's a huge start for Winthrop to start the half. Asheville still struggling to get themselves going offensively.
We're going to see a lot of this in the second half, I think, with Jordan Marsh driving, creating contact.
Trying to get to the line, stop the clock.
The only difference is, unlike Keza Jiffa, Jordan usually lands on his feet.
Right, right, that is the difference. I'm telling you, like, Jiffa could be the spokesperson for Life Alert, teaching people how to fall properly without hurting yourself or breaking a hip or a bone.
Oh, that's great. It is a skill, as strange as it
Falling
sounds.
is a skill.
Falling without hurting yourself.
There's so many people that hurt themselves just because they don't know how to fall.
Another missed free throw there for Marsh. And a foul on Asheville in the rebound action, and that will be the 3rd on Greg Gant. See the balance from Winthrop. Johnson's made 4 threes and 4 tries. Talford, 8 points to go with 8 rebounds.
That's what makes Coach Prosser so special, empowering his kids, his players.
Oh, good defense by Solomon.
Encouraging his players to be aggressive and find their spots.
Marsh going back to the free throw line again. That acceleration into the forecourt from Jordan Marsh almost lost him.
Yeah, one of the fastest players in the league. I mean, we were talking about that a couple of days ago, I feel.
If he had a flux capacitor on him, he'd have gone back in time.
Oh, man. Great usage there. So you're calling him Marty McFly?
If he has a flux capacitor.
I mean, how tall is Michael J. Fox? We might be cooking with something here.
I think he's smaller than Jordan Marsh, but from a basketball standpoint, I get your
Michael
point.
J. Fox of the Big South.
All righty. Marsh now 5 of 8 from the line. 3 points so far in the second half for him. This is less basketball right now and more a different sport where the whistles blow every possession.
Right.
Not sure what sport that is. Harrison. Ooh, did he get away with an extra step there?
Might have.
Jones spins.
Ooh, beautiful.
And scores.
What a basketball move. Sometimes you don't believe that this kid's a freshman. And the usage.
Marsh lost it this time. Kind of tossed the ball toward the corner. They're going to call a delay of game warning. You know, they could have teed him up. Nice piece of officiating, I think, by J.W. Lucas to not throw him out of the game for kind of frustratingly tossing the ball aside. But, you know, a technical foul there would not have been completely uncalled for.
Exactly. We wouldn't say that's unfair. I mean, at this point, you know.
Got to find your composure.
Yeah.
Harrison, more free throws coming.
Yeah, he's been playing with. You like emotion, but you got to be able to scale it. You know, I'd rather say whoa than sick him, but he's a kid right now that you might have to say whoa to.
Well, free throw attempts for the Winthrop Eagles. Huge part of their game. 18 and counting here today.
Well, when you have two key players that demand attention and a level that bring a level of force to the game like Harrison and Talford, it's so difficult to not have games where you're not going to the line. I mean, Harrison gets to the middle of the floor. Talford, great patience, great footwork, always draws fouls. I mean, both of those guys alone are tough to deal with.
Well, 6 fouls on the two teams combined in the first 3 minutes of the second half. AB, tough turnaround 2. Just his second field goal in 6 tries. I was just thinking, if Winthrop doesn't turn this ball over, they're going to be in good position, and somehow they end up with the ball after that sequence. Harrison, they're going to call him for the push-off. Mark Prosser using the scorer's table to brace his fall after this call.
I thought you were going to have to catch him for a second. Oh, yeah. Listen, there's a little nudge, but not like a true extension there. You've seen worse, but you understand, like, you could make that call, too.
For sure. They're certainly calling it tight, but if they call it this tight, the women's game between High Point and Winthrop not going to start at 6 o'clock. AB again. Inside the arc, but a tough turnaround 2 for Fletcher.
I've been so impressed with Fletcher AB. I honestly didn't think that he was coming back this year. I thought he was done and graduated. I felt like he had maxed his body out. You know, he's one of those guys that you always see with ice on his knees. And, you know, at this point, I feel like he's at the age where he's got reading glasses. And
oh, my. Asheville thought it was a clean block. The officials disagree. And we get yet another whistle. Each team's been called for 4 fouls in the first 4:14 in the second half. Brace yourselves for the bonus, folks. 15:46 remaining. Winthrop trying to hang on and make it to Championship Sunday.
This is a story about strength. It wakes up early in the morning, stays up late, moves mountains, and travels the world. It makes adventure and hard work possible. Strength delivers food to tables, packages to doorsteps, products to stores, and kids to practice. It shows up everywhere you show up. Hercules tires are built for almost every driver and every vehicle. Find the right Hercules for your story and let our strength drive yours.
There's a difference between being big and being strong, between trying something new and doing something great, finding answers and creating the future. At First Citizens, we understand that difference. We're resilient, relentless, and working together, there's nothing we can't achieve. For everyone who counts on us, there's always a difference. And that difference is who we are. First Citizens Bank.
Hey, grab me one too.
Starry is the caffeine-free soda that provides a crisp, clear burst of lemon-lime flavor. Starry is available in both original and zero sugar varieties. So give it a try and pick your Starry up today. One of my favorite things about March Madness is the passion from all the students and everybody involved in the game outside of the players and the coaches, the cheerleaders, the dance teams, the bands, the mascots, the donors, the alumni. I mean, everybody comes together, and just to experience that energy, like back and forth pregame when the bands are kind of having a song off going back and forth. It's just awesome to set the tone for the game.
Yeah, you love to see it, and that's what makes the Big South tournament so fun. It's like one big hangout where teams can, like, you know, collectively joke and have a good time with each other and also root for their teams in the process.
A lot of business at stake as well, trying to earn a spot in the dance. So there's a good finish from Toyaz Solomon.
Yeah, Toyaz Solomon trying to get himself going into a rhythm due to the fact that he hasn't been out there as much as he'd like because of foul trouble.
Beautiful move by Kasen Harrison.
That boy's cold, man.
Marsh to the basket, comes up short. Winthrop ball. John, I'm sure you can tell so many stories from your experience in the big dance, from Selection Sunday to the opportunity to actually compete. I was not your level of player, but I just remember going to the NCAA tournament as a fan in the late 90s when I was like 11, 12 years old, and just the experience of the fan bases going back and forth. And remember I saw as Baker rises for three and missed it. Oh, finds Bunkum, but he can't connect either. And then another block. Asheville somehow dodges a few bullets that possession.
Well, speaking of, you know, watching March Madness like you were saying, you get to watch guys lay it all out there on the line.
Whoa.
It's what makes the game so special, and then to be a part of it,
yeah,
can't even put it into words. Great defensive stint there for Asheville, doing everything they can to try to keep that ball alive, understanding that in the second half, possessions mean everything.
I was going to say, I remember watching the University of Miami play when Leonard Hamilton was coaching them.
Yeah.
Today he's coaching his last regular season game at the helm of the Seminoles. Great defense inside, denying the attack from Davis. And a foul on the pass. Aby picks up his second. Logan Duncombe getting praised by the Winthrop assistants after that sequence. They liked his effort. They liked his passion. Talford kicks it. Jones sticks it.
Yeah, Jones coming in with confidence as a freshman, showing his ability to knock down the three in high-pressure games, like in the Big South tournament.
Rare assist for Talford, who averages fewer than one a game. 61-39. Asheville searching for answers. And Jordan Marsh getting to the free throw line. I don't know if Asheville's going to get back in this 1 point at a time, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah, it's going to take some big shots. Right now, they're not shooting a three extremely well, so you can almost take that off the table. But, you know, what they're trying to do is get stopped clock, get a point here, point there, try to get more defensive stops, and try to win. And, you know, we used to say in 4-minute segments, win the four. Get 3 stops. We called it 3 and out. If you got 2 in a row and maybe a score, then you repeat back and try to get 3 stops in a row.
Another missed free throw. Marsh now 6 for 10. If you're Winthrop, do you want to take 20, 25 seconds off the clock here? Do you want to just keep playing what you've been doing all game long?
I think Winthrop's going to try to still get into the 80s. They're going to do what they do.
Talford. Rebound deflected, tracked by Taylor. And it's going to be a blocking foul near midcourt on Doucette. I mean, that's the 6th team foul on Winthrop. There have been 5 team fouls on Asheville.
And Coach Prosser was just like, why, KJ? Why would you do that? He wants him out there in the game because KJ's one of those guys that can really spread the floor from 3 and be an offensive impact for Winthrop. And so now he's got to come out.
Marsh again working off the dribble. Gets the bounce this time. That's his first field goal of the game. He had been 0 for 5. Oh my! Paul Jones III. Put him on the preseason all-conference team next year already. That's a heck of a finish by Taylor in transition. Maybe this is what we need for the game to open up a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of open floor opportunities there for Asheville. We talked about it before, but Paul Jones III has been special for Winthrop in today's game.
First rebound there for Jordan Marsh today. Step back 3. This hadn't been there for the Bulldogs. They're now 4 for 17 from deep.
Yeah, the 3 ball has not been clicking for Asheville, who is a team that wants to take those. If they get them, they'll take them and they'll try to make them. But right now they're getting them. They're just not making them.
Kick out, extra pass, Baker. Winthrop was ready to erupt, but an offensive rebound creates another chance. Jones flying in and scoring off the glass.
Jones, the super freshman for Winthrop, just doing it all for the Eagles. He's giving you however you want it buckets, whether it's from the 3 ball. Doesn't matter if there's a hand in his face. Once he sees it go in one time, it's over. And then he gets sped off the 3-point line, shows his ability to finish in traffic.
Burger King has a deal for all. $5 duo answers hunger's call. $7 trio, more options for y'all. Which one will you choose? At BK, have it your way.
Even when U.S. Women's National Team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards Visa Card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
Welcome to our world of extraordinary hydration science.
Meet Liquid IV, sugar-free hydration, scientifically formulated with electrolytes, vitamins, and 0 artificial sweeteners. Liquid IV, sugar-free.
The Longwood Lancers have won 2 of the last 3 Big South titles. The other team to win in the last 3 years, the UNC Asheville Bulldogs, but they're on the brink right now. Great memories from punch tickets to the dance. Who will be next? Punch tickets from the Big South thanks to the venue. Right now it's looking like either High Point for the first time ever, they're going to be an and one here, or Winthrop for the 14th time in school history. As you see the foul trouble for Asheville. Bulldogs trying to claw their way back. Get another timeout here as Morrell called the timeout.
Target made Good and Gather for you, helping you save on sparkling waters in tastes you'll love. Made with natural flavors in fantastic combinations. We made Good and Gather for you, only at Target.
Even when U.S. Women's National Team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards Visa Card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
With Allegra, you can stop being sneezy without feeling sleepy.
Hello? I'm sleepy. Yeah, we know.
Allegra has 0% brain interference for fast, non-drowsy allergy relief, so you won't be sneezy or sleepy.
Do you know what I'm allergic to?
Maybe not even grumpy. Stop your sneeze and ditch your drowsiness with Allegra. It's a no-brainer. See Disney Snow White in theaters March 21st. Rated PG.
Oh, wow, we can spot your dehydration from a mile away. Welcome to our world of extraordinary hydration science.
We've been busy advancing the science of hydration.
We've selected the ingredient of allulose, a naturally derived sweetener that doesn't spike your blood sugar like glucose. If creating such an amazing sugar-free formula was easy, everyone would do it.
But they don't.
Because they can't.
Liquid IV, sugar-free hydration. 0 sugar, 0 artificial sweeteners.
We get how uncertain the future is. We've come of age in a complex world, face to face with problems we didn't create. So what's going to happen next? We are. Because our future is the future. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more because we have an appointment with destiny.
The Big South thanks First Citizens Bank for their support. First Citizens Bank, forever first. Free throw for Cam Taylor out of the timeout makes it a 19-point game. Asheville's been scrapping and clawing, but they haven't really been able to carve into this deficit.
Well, they haven't been able to get stops and play defense without fouling against this Winthrop team that's right now getting whatever they want on the offensive end.
They got Taylor. He got a lot of ball, but also some arm apparently too. You can see it in the body language. All these whistles are demoralizing the Bulldogs.
Yeah, they just
one after another.
Yeah, it can definitely do that to you, but honestly, this is the style of play that Winthrop has played for a long time, where, especially as long as you've got a Talford and a Harrison, they're going to get to that line. And that's a strategy to disrupt your offensive rhythm.
Talford missed them both. Rebound for Gant. Marsh on the bench right now, so it'll be Banks running the offense for the Bulldogs. Banks, the three, short. Harrison with a head of steam. Talford missed the dunk, gets it back, lays it in. Just padding his rebounding stats.
Yeah, he's got some Angel Reese in his game, I feel like. As far as that goes, he's always,
in fact,
if he misses it, he follows it.
That gives him the double-double. 10 points, 10 rebounds, second double-double in as many days for Kelton Talford. Connor Dubsky, maybe he'll provide the spark off the Bulldog bench.
Asheville's going to have to find something, but the major thing is that we've talked about before is the stops. Can you get stops without fouling?
Dubsky had some big games in Asheville's 4 games against the non-D1s. Didn't score much against his conference foes, and that's a tough answer for Asheville to swallow. Tommy Camerad buries the triple.
We talked about it. That's what makes Camerad such a huge threat.
Back outside, the other side. Dubsky missed this one. Long rebound, tip to Dubsky. Taylor to the basket. Counted and one as Camerad picks up his 4th.
See there, really strong rip there. Cam Taylor. Nice little steal from Toyaz Solomon, getting to the other side of the basket and drawing that foul.
So Taylor to the line. Member of the Big South All-Freshman team. Thought it was funny. They asked in the press conference last night, asking Solomon and Marsh what they thought of his dunk. And they're like, that's no big deal. We see that all the time.
All the time. I've seen him do worse. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm telling you. Cam, Doc Battle, me. Smacking everybody.
Dubsky got it. Deficit cut to 16.
And this is the challenge for Asheville.
Timeout Winthrop. 9 minutes to play. Mike Morrell having a word with Fletcher Aby. 7 points, 3 rebounds for Aby. 4 in double figures for the Eagles. Harrison and Jones each with 13. Johnson with a dozen. Talford 10 points, 10 boards. By the way, Harrison also has 6 assists to go with his team high 13 points.
Yeah, he's just such a tough PG here, especially in this conference. Like I said, I'm extremely surprised. Like, this is what I'm talking about. To be a good coach, you have to be able to retain your guys. Guys like Harrison and Talford, I know that there was a handful of schools out there chasing those guys.
Yeah.
And they stayed. And reason being is because they got to run it back, man. I mean, they felt like they had unfinished business from last year, but it's up to that coach to be able to show them that vision, that picture of what they could be.
If you were watching last night, there's certainly a little bit of a feeling like the Longwood game for Winthrop in the second half. Just the number of whistles, trying to play with a lead. Nice move by Logan Duncombe inside his second bucket.
Yeah, that's been the story for Asheville. The inability to get stops against this high-powered Winthrop offense.
Solomon. 8 points for Toyaz. Been playing with 3 fouls since the 4:45 mark in the first half.
Yeah, I got a feeling that Mike Morrell's going to let him rock for this last 8 minutes.
Harrison, ooh, he lost it in the air, but the foul is going on Aby. Third on Fletcher. Had a nice few minute stretch there without a ton of fouls.
We did.
Now we're back.
We're back.
For perspective, there were 53 fouls called in the Longwood-Winthrop game last night, leading to, as I said before, 74 free throws. So far in this game, there have been 36 foul called. It's been dead even, 18 per side. Only 46 free throws so far.
The night is young, sir.
Just getting warmed up.
The night is young.
(74-57). Solomon had it poked away and a whistle. Why not? Baker picks it up. We take a timeout. Eagles by 17.
Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
A happy place comes in many colors. One that leaves you feeling refreshed.
Thank you very much, honey.
Something that gets you all fired up. Or gives you the space to chill. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters and make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy.
Feels like home.
Down here is where hard work matters, where hype is measured by heart and hustle, and where excellence is earned every day. Because down here, we play for each other, we play for family, we play for our communities, and we play to be the very best. This is the Big South. This is where winners are made.
Thanks for getting these sub bowls.
Of course, no problem, big bro. Let's eat.
Danny DeVito? What did you do with our uncle?
Well, that doesn't matter. This is a commercial for Jersey Mike's. What matters most are these sub bowls.
Wait, has Danny DeVito been my brother my whole life?
I guess so. Don't tell Mom. Your favorite sub, hot or cold in a bowl. It's a Jersey Mike's thing, a sub above.
This Big South broadcast is brought to you in part by Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. First Citizens Bank, forever first. CertaPro Painters, choose happy, choose CertaPro Painters. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. SoldOut.com, the official ticket resale marketplace of the Big South. And Food City, value every day.
Time for our Hercules Tires, I beg your pardon, Time for our CertaPro Painters points in the paint. Here's how the teams stand. Winthrop dominating from beyond the arc and the free throw line. Points in the paint pretty even. CertaPro Painters points in the paint. Remember, when choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters. The life out of this game is kind of been sucked out of it by all the whistles and the fouls. I was going to say that free throw could have cut it to 15, and there's a lot of time left.
Yeah.
Oh, inside. Winthrop just getting easy looks. Logan Duncombe now's got 6 off the bench.
Yeah, Duncombe has been huge off the bench, and saw Coach Monty Saunders praising him earlier in this game for his effort and intensity.
Reach and foul on Wilson. They just called a technical foul on Duncombe.
Yeah, Coach Prosser said both of them. And you see the official telling them, I warned you.
Duncombe clearly frustrated by something that happened.
Well, the coaches are asking him, what did you say? And he said that
they also called a T on Gant. That's his 4th personal.
Yeah, he asked him, what did he say? I think he said that Jordan was better than LeBron.
What? What?
Is that tech worthy?
I mean, depends who the officials are, I suppose.
I don't think Franklin's a LeBron fan. I think he's a Jordan fan.
All right, so no free throws for the T. Solomon to shoot 2. This is wild. Certainly not what I expected from this game in terms of, there have been 40 fouls called.
It's really
2 technicals.
Yeah. It's really slowed down the game and the momentum, and I'm telling you, when you can see both of these teams really go at it, it can be legendary.
Saw it last Saturday.
Yes. Honestly, both of these teams should probably be in the 80s right now, 90s.
Camarade. And a foul on Winthrop in the rebound action. It's on Telford.
I like Telford's look right now.
Fans from both teams, I think, are booing. But at this moment, you hear Winthrop fans the loudest. Kasen Harrison's coming back in. That was the 51st free throw attempt of the game for the 2 teams combined.
A lot of time left.
Yes, there is.
But I don't know if there's enough players left. That's where I'll go to with that.
No one's fouled out yet, but 2 guys on each team have 4. Banks and Gant for Asheville. Camarade and Doucette for Winthrop. And it's a 14-point game with under 7 to play. Harrison swarmed. Nice pass to Telford.
Great pass, great patience there from Kasen Harrison. I mean, just just talk about, like, when you're trying to get yourself in a run, you got somebody as steady, as poised, a pace controller like Kasen Harrison. It makes him tough. It makes this team complete.
Deep three. Won't go. Wilson sets up Baker in rhythm. Would have felt like the dagger, but it would not fall. Gant could have been called for a move and screen, would have been his fifth. Instead, he picks up the assist on the lob to Solomon. That's a momentum bucket for the Bulldogs.
And you kind of look at this and feel that, you know, Asheville's still fighting. You see there, Josh Banks is putting his hands behind his back just to let the rest know, I'm not trying to foul here, sir.
Wilson up top, pops it over. Baker for three.
So many weapons on this Winthrop team.
Dubsky can't answer. Eagles now with 12 three-pointers in 24 attempts in a 17-point lead. Kasen Harrison. Falling down pass. Talford short. Solomon with his 8th board. Bulldogs need points. They need them quick. Too many misses at the rim.
Yeah. That's been the issue with UNC Asheville today is had some good looks, have not been able to execute as far as following it through.
That was only the Eagles' 8th turnover. But I'm not going to ask Mark Prosser to settle down because it's only the 8th turnover. He was pretty frustrated
It doesn't matter.
by it.
It's got to translate at all times with good basketball, and he's holding his guys accountable. He almost kicked the hole in in the media table here.
Part of the scorers table closest to me. I was a little scared.
Yeah. I mean, if he'd have went through, that would have been your kneecap.
Yeah. Been a long time since we've seen Jordan Marsh. Asheville's all out of sorts without him.
Yeah. But at the same time, you could definitely see that the route for Asheville to come back was going to be through some systematic play, and I think he was trying to take it into his own hands and do his own thing, and sometimes you got to just do what's best for the group.
Plenty of time, set the feet. Doucette can't connect, but Talford keeps it alive. He has won the battle on the block with Toyaz Solomon. Two guys been fighting for 37 plus minutes. 3:46 to go.
This combo meal's got combinations. Make this thing your own creation. Entree, drink, and choice of sides. Oh, and it's free to swap fries. BK, have it your way.
Even when U.S. Women's National Team forward Mallory Swanson isn't on the field, she always makes the perfect play. Thanks to the Bank of America Customized Cash Rewards Visa Card, she'll earn 3% cash back on her purchase after choosing the online shopping category.
Oh, wow, we can spot your dehydration from a mile away. Welcome to our world of extraordinary hydration science.
We've been busy advancing the science of hydration.
We selected the ingredient of allulose, a naturally derived sweetener that doesn't spike your blood sugar like glucose. If creating such an amazing sugar-free formula was easy, everyone would do it.
But they don't.
Because they can't.
Liquid IV, sugar-free hydration. 0 sugar, 0 artificial sweeteners.
It is now time for the Hercules Tires strong move of the game.
Yeah, Kasen Harrison with that hard between crossover, getting the space he needed, leaving his defenders in the dust.
14 points, 8 assists for Kasen Harrison, the veteran from Beaumont, Texas. Last night he had 11 assists, the most ever for a Winthrop player in the Big South tournament. They've had some great point guards in this event through the years. Talford back to the line, the author of several strong moves himself. By the way, strong move of the game was brought to you by Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Yeah, and what I'll say is Winthrop has a great formula to be able to give themselves a chance to win this thing. Got a true point guard that can facilitate. You've got shooters on both sides of the floor as well as drivers, people that can penetrate and kick. And then you've got a legitimate post player that demands attention every time he catches it.
Another missed shot from pretty close from Josh Banks. Winthrop by 19, clock ticking towards 3 minutes remaining.
Now this is where I would assume Winthrop would try to run some time off
Milk
that
the
clock.
clock.
Yeah.
Harrison looking. He'll take it. Rebound, Taylor. Taylor turns it over. Winthrop doesn't need to be in any hurry. Johnson slows it down.
Yeah, nor are they. They're slowing it down, running their stuff.
Impressive performance from Winthrop despite the poor free throw shooting. When you go 12 for 25 from 3, you're probably going to win more often than not. Make it 13 for 26.
You're shooting 50% from 3 and shooting over 10 threes. That's saying something, man. I mean, that's a key stat for Winthrop as far as the separation of this game. Asheville's just really struggled to guard that three-point line.
Asheville still can't buy a bucket. Mike Morrell calling in a sub, but it's going to be Julian Clark. Feels like Jordan Marsh's day is done. Only 17 minutes for Jordan. They had a 3-point lead when he got teed up. 12:36 to go in the first half, and it's been all Winthrop since.
Yeah, and you can see Mike Morrell bringing his guys in. They understand the importance.
You understand the emotions, too.
Yeah, the emotions. How proud he is of his guys in their season.
All right, John. We got a timeout here to talk about it. High Point, Winthrop. Noon tomorrow.
It's going to be a good game.
A team that has won 13 Big South tournament titles versus a team that has won none.
Winthrop knows, just historically speaking, they've been there before. They've been at that moment. They know the implications that come with it. There's a reason why they've gone dancing so many times in the past years, and so I think they're going to ride that wave, that energy, try to make sure that they take care of business. But like I said, everybody's got to be clicking on all cylinders, not just one person. You have to beat teams like High Point collectively. And I think that High Point, we talked about it before, when you look at that team and you look how they were formulated, they have all the makings of being a championship team in the conference, but then also the makings of going and winning games in the NCAA tournament. That team is built for that as well.
Which of High Point's playmakers do you view as the X factor tomorrow for the Panthers?
Playmaker?
Yeah.
I would say Kamani Hamilton. He's the guy that presents a matchup issue because of his ability to take you on the outside. He can also drive, he can post up, and I think he's the X factor for that team. I also think Bobby Pettiford Jr., when he comes in, he's going to have to be a major impact player for them.
Euro Diallo had the shot blocked. Shot clock violation. You're right about Kamani Hamilton, and time will tell whether he and the Panthers are satisfied at the end of their Big South tournament experience.
And what I think too is that if Jiffa gets in foul trouble, which could happen, especially if he's guarding Kasen Harrison or vice versa,
right.
I think it's going to come down to the depth again and who's the backup point guard for each team, and that's why I said Bobby Pettiford if they get there.
Pettiford's had some big games off the bench, including yesterday in the quarterfinals for High Point. Free throws with 1:11 to play here for Cameron Taylor, freshman from Charlotte's Carmel Christian. He started his freshman year going 2 for 2 from 3 at Alabama.
Yeah, I remember watching that game. I mean, he came in, and I don't think anybody expected the impact that he brought to the team right away, and he's been huge for Asheville this year.
20-point game. Winthrop can take it under a minute. Kelton Talford's going to get a chance to play his 151st game as an Eagle here tomorrow. They got an illegal screen on Ty Hamilton. '44th foul in the game. There's Fletcher Abbey. What a career. 341 made threes.
Yeah, he's been a staple to the program, embodies the culture for UNC Asheville, and it's awesome to see him come back to the program. Well deserved.
They're going to call this on the pass. Not sure what Javoy Thompson was looking for when he passed it there, but gets bailed out, and he'll get free throws here with 43.7 to go.
How many we got so far?
This is the 57th free throw of the game.
Not bad.
Which, if you think about it, there's plenty of room to explore the studio space compared to last night's game against Longwood.
Yeah.
74 free throws in the final quarterfinal of the day. Shout out to all the Big South staffers who have worked long hours, everybody here in Johnson City who have set up really a tremendous tournament. And we send our best to Matt Schick, Paul Biancardi, and the production crew that'll call the game tomorrow on ESPN2 at high noon. High Point and Winthrop, longtime rivals, and arguably the biggest game they've ever played against each other. High Point's first ever Big South Championship game appearance came against Winthrop back in 2002. I think that was the Greg Marshall Eagles that rolled by 22 points.
Yeah, that's Greg Marshall.
High Point's 2 championship appearances, they lost by 22 and they lost by 45. But an opportunity tomorrow to wipe all that history away. Mark Prosser's Winthrop Eagles, though, don't want to help High Point write the storybook finish to their season. The Winthrop Eagles have big dreams of their own, and they're on to the final after an 86-67 rout of the second seed UNC Asheville.